Tanya for the 18th of Kislev is in Kuntis Achron, page 324. The number at the bottom of the page is 632. You should rebuke your friend even 100 times. And therefore, I can no longer contain myself, to refrain, and to remain silent, from crying out once again, with a voice betraying weakness. I plead with you, with great compassion, take pity on yourselves. Have pity on yourself, and be very careful for the Torah and for the Aveda of the heart, which is davening with kavanah, that the davening should begin with everyone together, saying word for word, and not to have one person at one point of the davening and another with another point of the davening. And one is silent altogether and the other one is talking. Idle talk, and the main cause that brings the damage are those who lead the davening, who go to the amud, it is abandoned, the position is abandoned. Whoever wants to stretch forth his foot, and race through the davening, or it could be because nobody wants, and therefore the position is left for those who race through the davening. And therefore, this is the advice, and a permanent amendment, that it should be it should be a law established that will not be violated again, which is to choose a number of people who are fit to lead the davening. They should be chosen either through lots or through votes, where the majority of the people choose them. And who are the people who are fit for the job? Those who daven word for word, in a moderate way, not too fast, not too slow. Ram, with out loud. They daven out loud. They don't daven longer than is necessary, and they also do not race through the davening. And on them falls the responsibility. Each one of them is obligated to lead the davening on the day that was appointed or set aside for them. And to gather round about himself, close to him, the others who also daven with some voice. In other words, not silently, but they daven somewhat out loud. They don't whisper and they don't rush, as is known and explained in the takonis, in the rules that were made in ancient cities. And now I come to renew them, to strengthen them, to invigorate them, and they should never again be weakened, God forbid. In one of the manuscripts, the Alter Rebbe wrote, Gewald, Ad Mosai Ezelonu Lemekesh, how long will this be an obstacle for us? And it is not enough, or have we not sufficient reproofs and troubles that have occurred, that have taken place. And may God protect us and console us doubly, and purify our hearts, that we should serve Him be'emes. Chizku v'amtu levavchem, strengthen yourselves in your hearts. Kol hamiyachelim la'Hashem, all those who place their trust in God. Gam ligmer kol hashas b'chol shana v'shana, to complete the shas, the Gemara, every year. B'chol ir ve'ir l'chalak ha'mesechtes al pi hagei leberatzein, and in every city, the community should divide up the Gemara, the Mesechtes, again, either through lots or by will, by agreement. And the city that has many minyanim, each minyan, each congregation should divide the Gemara, the entire Shas, among themselves. And if there's a minyan, a congregation that is too small, there are too few members to be able to complete the entire Gemara, so they should add to themselves, they should join with a bigger minyan, but this should be performed without variation and not be violated. And every one of these who are studying, who take upon themselves a Gemara, Yigmer la'atzmei, should complete for himself b'chol shavua, every week, hatanya ape shebetehillim kuf yutes, the capital kuf yutes of Tehillim, in which each letter appears 8 times at the beginning of a pasuk. 8 psukim begin with the letter Aleph, 8 psukim with the letter Beis, and so on. V'liyes machmas chlishus hader, ein keyach b'chol echad ve'echad lehisanis kiroyolei. And also, because of the weakness of the generation, physical weakness, one can't fast the number of fasts that are necessary or appropriate for him to fast in order to cleanse himself after tshuva from the sins. So the advice for this is, the Gemara says that whoever keeps Shabbos kehilchosei properly is forgiven for all his sins. Kehilchosei dafke, but it has to be kehilchosei lochen mutal al kol echad v'echad liyez boki behilchos rabosa v'shabbato. It is therefore obligatory on everyone to be familiar with all of the laws of Shabbos. Not only the laws themselves, but also those things that prevent or protect you from violating the law. You should also be careful not to indulge or engage in any idle chatter or any idle talk, because it is known to those who study Kabbalah. In every mitzvah there is the inner and the outer. The external part of Shabbos is refraining from an actual deed, an act, a physical act that is prohibited. Just as God Himself rested from creating the physical heaven and earth. So that's the external part of Shabbos. Pnimius HaShabbos hi hakavona b'tvilas HaShabbos. The kavana in the davening of Shabbos of the Talmud Torah l'dovka b'Hashem echad, and in the study of Torah in order to cleave to God. K'mesha kasuv Shabbos l'Hashem elikecha v'zuhi b'china zocher. That's the remembrance of Shabbos. U'b'china shomer the pnimius, and the guarding of the Shabbos on a higher, deeper level than the pnimius. Hi hashvisa midiburim gashmim. Guarding Shabbos means protecting the Shabbos from idle talk, from physical talk. Just as God rested from the utterances, from the Asara Maimoris with which the world was created. So the external is the actual creation, the deed. Corresponding to that, we refrain from the 39 labors. And corresponding to God's refraining from the words of creation, from the speech about creation, we refrain from talk about physical things. Because one parallels the other. The talk about physical things is the opposite, the antithesis of the davening and the learning that should be taking place on Shabbos. In the Hayom Yom, for the 18th of Kislev, the Rebbe writes that no tachnun is said at Mincha, and the Tzemach Tzedek writes that the love expressed in the statement, besides you, I want nothing, means that when one should desire nothing other than God Himself, not even heaven or earth, meaning the higher Gan Eden or the lower Gan Eden, because those were created with a mere Yud. Heavens were created with the Yud of God's name. The love should be directed at God alone, to His very being and essence. This was actually expressed by my teacher, the Alter Rebbe, when he was in a state of dveikus, and he exclaimed as follows: I want nothing at all. Ich will gar nicht. Ich will nicht dein Gan Eden. Ich will nicht dein Elam Haba. Ich will nur dir allein. I want nothing at all. I don't want your Gan Eden. I don't want Elam Haba. I want only you. Good Yontif, may you be inscribed and sealed for a good year in the study of Chassidus and in the ways and practices of Chassidus.
Shalom Aleichem. How are you? You know, I do a lot of talking, a lot of Zooming, many classes, many subjects, but that's all formal stuff. Hopefully good stuff, but formal. We also have a Wednesday night meeting that's more informal and kind of Hamish. If you want to join us for that kind of an event, interactive, time for questions and so on, if you want to join us for this side of conversation, click on the link below and join us every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Well, maybe not every Wednesday night, but we try to make it every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, a more informal chat, which can be more enjoyable at times than the formal stuff. So check it out. Click on the link and join us. Try it. You'll like it.